Previously in Doraken. The Hounds of War had dinner with the Seraphin Cabal agent Arngrim Bjornsson and his mermaid wife, Delilah. During the meal, they came to the conclusion that they would use Arngrim's longboat, the Wavebreaker, to traverse the Everflow Sea and enter Delta Bay. However, before taking off, a couple of the heroes decided to get some magical tattoos. Davree, for instance, decided to have Anastasia tattooed over his heart with a trail of rainbow feathers running along his side, granting him the ability to cast spells. Whereas Eos decided to augment his intelligence with a tattoo of a sun between his shoulder blades. The next day, the Hounds of War set off, and for hours it was an uneventful voyage. However, during the night, the ship was suddenly blocked by a pirate ship named the Wild Torrent, captained by a goblinoid creature named Fishbreath. In the end, the heroes won against the pirates, but the Wavebreaker sank from the continual damage it took during the fight. Seizing the pirate ship, the party arrived near the coast of Delta Bay 2 days later, where the heroes managed to sneak into land by having Eos transform into a small cloud. Davree and Naeris adopted the forms of reef sharks, while the rest of the party were granted a temporary ability to breathe underwater and hitch a ride on the shark friends. In town, the heroes tried to avoid the Karakan soldiers roaming the streets, but in the end Eos, Davree and Aurora were apprehended by a hobgoblin commander named Maro. The commander allowed the trio to visit the Church of Vilika and ordered them to find a place to rest for the night. In order to ensure that they followed this command, he had 2 bugbears from the Smashing Brood Brigade and 2 goblins from the Dark Dagger Brigade follow them. During their travels, Davree decided to provide a distraction, allowing the twins to escape through the crowd. They did notice, however, that the 2 goblins had vanished, but did not find out why. While distracting the bugbears, Davree heard a voice within his head, asking him if he needed some help. Davree declined, but stated that he would like to meet the speaker within the Church of Vilika. At the church, Davree encountered the 2 priests working there, the twins Rose and Isabel. The priests magically compelled the bugbears to ignore the existence of Davree, allowing him to meet with the person that telepathically spoke to him, the Aasimar Casimir Zurich. Afterwards, the Hounds of War were reunited once again at the secret basement of Fischer, the halfling leader of the resistance. The session ended with the whole group agreeing that the Hounds of War should rest before planning the next move. Tired and weary from your voyage across the Everflow Sea, and your nerve-wracking infiltration of Delta Bay, it is no wonder that sleep comes easy to you all with the exception of Jace. We see the warlock sitting alone in the guest room provided to him by Fischer, probably reading a book that tells the story of the harbour town. Arthur lies on the table next to him and snores calmly, but suddenly the pseudo-dragon wakes with a yawn and stretches his whole body like a cat. We see Jace scratches the familiar behind its head, a sentiment which is repaid with a satisfied yelp. But Arthur does not return its master's stare, as it gazes behind Jace instead, its eyes locked on the door leading into the room. Jace, from the doorframe you see a pale blue light, and a crunching sound of footfalls in snow is accompanied by the sound of a song, sung by a captivating female voice, which sounds familiar, and yet you have trouble recalling its owner. Beyond the door, you see the same winter garden where you had a conversation with your patron, Lady Galadriel. Snow covers the entire landscape, yet you do not feel cold, either due to your magical boots or your pact with your patron. You no longer see the door behind you, only countless trees surrounding the horizon, and a lake with running water despite the cold environment. About 30 feet away from the lake, there's a small pavilion made from crystal clear ice. Placed inside, you see a small round table and 2 chairs made from ashen grey wood. In the night sky, a moon far larger than what you have ever seen before shines brightly as a sharp contrast to the darkness, and trails of shooting stars far by in a continual formation akin to a flock of birds. As Arthur tucks himself inside your robe to keep his warmth, you begin to hear the song again, and you instinctually look towards its source. Appearing from the forest, you see a fey woman side-saddle a large white deer. It's as if the deer and its rider are made of air, for the deer's step do not break the snow it treads upon. You recognize the woman as Lady Galadriel, who this time wears a dress of shock white that cascades to an opal blue. Her hair, which you have only ever seen running down her back, is braided as a circle around her head, with crystals, feathers and leaves making it look like she's wearing a tiara. She briefly looks towards you, and acknowledge your presence, but then she stares out towards the lake and sings again. It is a breathtaking performance, and the sound alone is so beautiful that you barely notice the true meaning behind the sylvan words. Through the first verse, Lady Galadriel emotes pain by betrayal and disappointment. Small snowflakes fall from the sky, and various critters begin to emerge from the surrounding forest. Lady Galadriel pays them no mind as she sings the second verse, this time singing about the raw sense of regret that comes from losing someone dear through neglect and inaction. And together, all the animals let out mournful cries to join the song as a haunting chorus. At the third verse, Lady Galadriel dismounts her steed, and with no hesitation she walks on the lake. Each step produces a platform of webbed ice underneath her feet. She raises her hands towards the moon, and all the pain and suffering accumulated from the two first verses explodes in a cacophony of pure wrath, as your patron explicitly states that the winds of summer have no power over the frost of winter. The snowfall turns to a blizzard. The animals' cries intensifies, and they start to howl and snarl. Trees begin to fall as a powerful storm now gathers around Lady Galadriel. It grows stronger and stronger, until all what you see in front of you, Jace, is an utterly white tornado of winter's fury. And then, the song stops. The animal chorus walks back into the forest and disappears out of your sight. The wind ceases to be. The snow stops to fall. And all that is left is the pavilion, Lady Galadriel, and you.
Hang on, so we were waking up, two of our party members.
Yeah, exactly. When you wake up, you...
Davree says we start. Something I have to tell Jace and Eos.
But yeah, when you wake up, you and you all reunite downstairs in the basement.
Well, not all of us.
No, again, when the actual members within the party still present, you come to the conclusion, wait, where's Eos and where's Jace?
They probably overslept.
What about Scrawny?
Scrawny's there.
Oh.
But basically he says...
He'll be pulled into a pit of face.
Basically he says with the voice that I cannot make, so... Well, I'm gonna try to see if I can find Eos and Jace.
That's a good idea. You get up to that and let us know if you're successful.
I'll go check on Eos.
I bet he'll be successful.
When is he not?
He said with no metagame knowledge.
Yep, but if you visit Eos' room, you see that it's... it looks like he has been inside. I've also seen that he has been in the bed and slept and so forth, but there's no visible traces of him.
Nothing at all.
Nope.
Wait, you're trying to tell me that Eos slept in his own bed? Seems suspicious.
True.
Yeah. Do I get any sense that he has left the room since he entered it?
And the door was closed, and no, immediately.
Is the window open?
Nope, that's also closed.
Okay, I return back down. My brother's not in his room, but then again, he could be sleeping in someone else's room. Maybe Jason's? I don't know. Maybe that's why they overslept.
Yeah, neither Jace nor Arthur is present as well.
Shit.
Well, I will leave a note for them.
But you do notice that Jace's door was open. But the rest of the resistance, yeah.
So, should we? This kind of one metagame knowledge maybe gets to. Obviously, we know they're not here because they aren't here.
Yeah.
So should we just go ahead and assume that things are probably okay, maybe a bit weird, but not like...
Yeah, exactly. And that's also why Blake will look for them, just to ensure that there's nothing foul on there.
Then I think we leave a note for them, let them know that we're
my brother could well be in some brothel or something and just have
we're dragged to hell, who knows. But the point is that we do have a city we kind of got to save, right? Actually, we don't. Our job is... Wait, what's the mission again? I'm mixing us up with another game right now, I think.
Yeah, essentially, you have two goals written down. One is to aid the resistance from Delta Bay. You also wanted to know more about the army itself and also the plans.
That's right, yeah. So we're on a reconnaissance
with the whole Witch Queen thing involved.
So maybe we should agree Like, what is the primary goal of those things?
Well, of course we have to aid the resistance, but I think that gaining knowledge is probably the first priority, because if we just drive them out of town, there won't be anyone to gain information from.
No. And even if we do drive them out of town, it's not to say that they won't come back.
Exactly.
But if we can maybe obviously gain information, and if we have time, I would like it if we can try to set up a resistance network that in time can, I think, also would help us in the event that we do.
Yeah, and that was essentially also the reason why I was in it. It was to reinforce the resistance group. Right now, there's only like 4 or 5 people. But you are met up with Kellen Fischer, this elderly halfling with these white sideburns, big, almost cola bottle glasses. Well, so have you slept well?
Slept fine.
Well, thank you. We appreciate the shelter very much.
Yes. Oh, we need all the help we can get, so it's the least I can do. So, where we left things a bit off.
He's part of this resistance, right?
He's the de facto leader.
Good.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
He says, right now, Wilbur and Hannah are outside in town scouting around. Casimir will be joining us shortly, along with Sura.
So, I want to make sure if I understand the situation here, because we had a long travel, so I need to make sure.
Of course.
I continue our conversation last night. Out in the Echo Swamp here to the
east.
To the east?
Yes.
Okay. Out to the east, Echo Swamp. We believe that they are carrying out some kind of mission or some kind of...
Exactly. The majority of the army are stationed there within some barracks.
Large troop movement, okay. But in town, the town is run by the Baron? Or...
Duke Black.
Yeah. And his force of wildlings?
Hobgoblins and so forth, yeah.
Okay.
Different brigades. And Nat, the vermin, the goblin, is also there. He says, yeah, actually, I fought alongside Black, who we carry out a secret mission in Metal Gorge Keep. He's creepy, man.
Wait, you say Black? Are you sure his name's not pronounced Blake?
No, B-L-A-R-K.
Oh, okay. I thought for a minute it was Chronic Blake.
Essentially, it's the same player who's created him, so... Again, I saw him transform into a spider at one point.
You spider?
That's creepy.
Yep.
What did you do in Metal Gorge?
Well, essentially, I was an undercover agent trying to prevent them from actually taking over the keep. I failed. At least I survived. My other colleague did not. He was slain, and he managed to capture the commander of the place, Commander Eldrick, I believe his name was.
So is your cover blown?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
I was part of a task force called the Black and Chain. We were essentially various powerful warlords, and I tried to kill some of them. Did not work out, so I had to make dodge. So right now, Duke Blarg and Torchbearer Nasir, Kukasa, Moratok, they know that I was working for the Resistance.
Okay, good. We can't move around freely in this town, can we?
We can. We just gotta keep our heads low.
Okay.
Well, essentially, as I believe you were all in secret disguises, Davree is probably the only one they might recall, because you only had a hood on.
Yes, but all I am is a pilgrim.
True. Yeah, and essentially the priest were mind wiping the bugbears to make them believe that you did so.
If anyone gets in trouble, it's them?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are we staying?
At Fischer's equipment.
Okay. Cool.
I was considering checking out the Sea Serpent's headquarters. I can see from this map, it's the town watch. Is it
Sentinels.
Yeah.
Oh, Sea Sentinels, sorry.
That has been taken over by Commander Marvel.
Where are the... is there a captain of the old town watch still around?
Yeah, that would be Hannah, actually. Right now, she's the only free-roaming city watch. The rest have been imprisoned, killed during the attack.
Where have they been imprisoned?
That's what I was thinking.
I believe in one of the departments downtown near the Bordello, I believe.
I think
that was also
prison break? I think
That would also align with the crew for the Burning Unicorn, who is set to be executed soon. There was a ship called the Burning Unicorn that was transporting weapon to another town further up, and they were intercepted and captured. And essentially, they are being put forward as traitors to the Doraken kingdom for providing aid to enemies.
I think staging a prison break might be good. I mean, this resistance is going to need men.
Yes.
Definitely.
But when are they to be executed?
Well, we're actually investigating that right now. That's why Hannah is out.
Okay.
Good, because if we could intercept that,
I would rather stage prison break than stop an execution, because a public execution is more public.
Yeah.
A prison break could be anyone, but stopping a public execution is sending a message. I don't know if we're ready to send a message yet.
All right. Okay.
I think right now our biggest advantage is that they don't know that we exist. Because if they do, then they would send 100 soldiers through every house and wipe us out.
Exactly.
Most definitely.
Also, this will allow us at least to find some place where we can hide the escapees afterwards.
Mike, I would like to ask, you say they're stationed out in the Echo Swamp to the east. What about the Echo Swamp to the west?
Well, there are some platoons out there, but nowhere the same amount of soldiers, I believe. In the swamp to the east, there are about 700 people stationed in the barracks in total. To the west, maybe 50 people, just scouting the borders, essentially.
So if we get within the swamp, we should actually be able to be safe. Or
True.
how can you tell us about the swamp?
I know to the east is a tribe that the citizens don't really interact with. They tend to be, if not neutral, at least a bit hostile if we go approach them too close. That tribe. However, they will be the best people to actually scout them. I know the swamp's the best, so maybe we should try to recruit them. That's also an option.
So what I'm thinking, and you guys of course can tell me, I think is if we get in contact with the Echo tribe, the swamp people, I'm going to call them Echo tribe, it's a little nicer sounding,
Yeah.
and see if we can get them to our side. Then we use the Echo Swamp as our headquarters, because if they won't go within the Echo Swamp, then we should be safe.
And we can lead guerrilla warfare from within the swamp if we have someone who knows it, of course.
And then from there, afterward, once we have a headquarters or a place to organize, we can make a state prison break. Additionally, the swamp people, the Echo tribesmen, might have an idea of what's going on in the swamp to the east.
Exactly. And that interjection says, well, maybe it's best if we divide our forces, essentially. So some of the resistance do one part, maybe scout out the prison or something like that, and you try to recruit the tribesfolk.
Most definitely. At least we have to find out where the prisons are.
Exactly.
What's in Crone Hill?
Cullen says, well, according to local legends, it says that a witch lives there.
How big is the city? Because you've marked out the key ports for us, but is it?
Well, I can. What did I say last time that there were about what? 8,000?
20?
20? What's the 20? I can't recall.
I just remember 20 in some city at some point.
Yeah, but again, it's a mid-large city essentially because it's a harbor town.
Okay, so getting lost within the city is not too difficult.
No.
That
is doable.
Cool. Thank you.
I mean, it took more than the disguise spell lasted to get through the city last time.
That's
so
true.
I mean, it has to be somewhat sizable.
As Cullen said about Brunel, it says that no one that has ever entered the island has ever left again.
Okay,
so
we shouldn't go there then.
that is true.
What about any underground sort of systems? Do you have any
Sewers, catacombs?
Yeah, we do have sewers.
skills?
Oh, you meant...
Actually, I believe we maybe should wait for Sorok, or Casimir, as he's known. He is essentially part of the most powerful crime family in town. So
Good.
Cassius is the one with the great look, right?
yeah, and essentially in that moment, a door opens and you see this androgynous, beautiful young man with golden hair and golden eyes. And behind him walks a hobgoblin woman. Essentially, she has a ponytail that goes up in a loop. fairly muscular, and she seems to be wearing an actual Doraken armor. But from the Dark Brigade, which is essentially like spies and ninjas and assassins and so forth.
Because we even found out.
You have met Sura before. In the moment, you see Casper's go. Sorry, breakfast took a little longer than I like to admit. You up and about? Where's the rest of the guys?
Out and about, I guess.
Well,
my brother is probably somewhere else at the moment. I was wondering, I was just told that you were the leader of some crime family. How's the criminal life here in Delta Bay?
well, if I may say so myself, it's pretty great. We're doing well. Well, at least we did well. Yeah. Until the whole army calmed down and broke down everything.
Okay.
Right now, I'm the only surviving member of my own family, so you can imagine, yeah, I'm a bit pissed right now.
Okay. How about other survivors from?
I have some various informants in town. The bordello is still up and running.
So you run the bordello?
Yeah, essentially it's where we whitewash our money.
Is it a brothel?
Yeah.
And that's close to the jail, correct?
That is true.
Do any of the leaders of the army visit the bordello?
From what I've been told by my girls, yeah, they do. They don't pay. So, but again, I guess it's better than slavery.
Truly is.
There are a few greater evils in this world than not paying a prostitute.
You see, Casimir is taking the bit back, like, dreadful, like, right, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking if we could get some more inside information from within the bordello.
Well, so my thinking is that we can use the bordello to our advantage to do the prison break. But I still think that we should start by because locating ourselves in this shop, it's of course great, but I'm afraid we're putting everyone here in danger, as well as as long as we're within the city limits, we're under their control.
Yes.
So first step is this swamp.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Well.
I think it would be also perhaps good to have a powerful witch on our side, if in fact she is a witch.
And if she is friendly.
Oh, you're talking about Crone Hill?
Yes.
Oh.
Have you visited?
No, can't say I have. I'm still alive. Well, I could probably have some people try to look into it. Maybe
with all due respect, I think maybe that if we do approach Crone Hill, it should be us. I don't want to put anyone else in danger, and
what I was imagining is that Sura will put out. She's essentially our insider. Maybe she's put out like a boss within the army, saying that maybe something important is there. Have them scout out the area, see what happens to them.
Alright.
Just check out the possibilities of how we can get to Crone Hill.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any nearby ship or anything, so that will have to be arranged first. Maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Okay, I'm thinking Echo Swamp first. Try talking with the Echo Tribe, find out where their alliance lies, and then we'll take it from there. But at least we can use the Virago bordello in some sort of cover if we have to stage a prison breakout.
Yeah. What do you think, Naeris?
I agree.
Okay.
Good.
Well. So will you arrange the whole ship and so forth, and you see that the Hoplon like nods, and then she does exactly the same as Aurora does with the shadow.
But instead there's blood everywhere.
Yeah. Blood of an enemy. Well,
It's a good thing that Davree is more jumpy. Like when Hoplon wants to like, we found out takes a night pill.
well, if you don't mind, do you mind if I tag along? I don't like the idea that only the three of you go out. I saw Blake.
Who is this?
This is Casimir.
Okay. Yes. This is green hair, golden eyes, right?
Yellow, blonde hair, and golden eyes.
Oh, that's green hair. Yeah. But green hair, golden eyes, it's a good look.
Yeah. I don't know if I have the proper introduction now. I'm Casimir Doraken, and he basically goes around.
Don't shake his hand.
You don't?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Intimately.
No. I check out if he has any Any rings on his fingers or anything?
Certainly, make a perception check. And I'm going to say with advantage because you are basically like, okay, yeah, I can see the way.
I would do the same thing after she shook his hand. To be sure that's
Okay.
Actually, he would like to
what
notice
was it?
the
What was it?
Perception, yeah.
that white band on his finger.
That is a 20.
20. Well, you do see he has like a family ring,
Yeah.
essentially, and also others of various value. Probably just on his hand, you guess he has about, 50 gold pieces worth of jewelry.
Okay, cool. I'll just note that.
I imagine when they're like shaking hands, I'm right, and like, don't try it. Still a paladin.
And I look at him, what?
What?
I would never.
Oh, don't give me that bullshit.
I would never.
You would.
Have you ever seen me steal? I was asking her, not you.
That's the thing that worries me. I've seen you steal a couple times, which means there's at least 20 times as many times where you've stolen and I've seen it.
When you're done with the whole adventuring, mind finishing a job at the Doraken family then?
The what?
The Doraken family. We could use somebody with talents.
Who knows? Maybe someday. If I get bored.
I have talents.
I might find a spot for you in the bordello. We'll look into it.
He's the most renowned lover. Aren't you, Dad?
I'll take your word for it.
I don't know personally, but I've only heard.
Perhaps we should get going. Just
Yes.
Hat of Disguise.
No, just checking what.
Cloak of disguise.
Yeah, and I will be changing. I would have thought about this before I woke up, but I'm tuned to my boots of haste, and I'll attune to my braces and my hat of disguise.
Cool. And I can't recall if I've told you already, but the braces don't take a bonus action to produce a knife.
Okay.
Because that makes it just ineffective.
How big is the Echo Swamp?
I haven't set it in miles or so forth.
No, but
it will
kind of
the western that will probably take you 2-4 hours.
Is that where the
across?
tribe?
Yeah, in pure distance because there might be hindrance and so forth.
But do we need a disguise then to get there?
Again, you need to go to the eastern part.
We're going to the eastern one.
Oh, the eastern one.
I thought we were going to
the tribespeople are here,
Okay.
but they know the swamps. But it's also where all the soldiers are.
All right.
Yes.
And you
we
see,
won't be dressing up as soldiers.
you see he casts a spell, and suddenly he looks like a hobgoblin soldier.
So, hobgoblins?
I think that if you two can go to Hobgoblins,
Yeah?
great. I'm going to go as a pilgrim to the tribesmen to spread the word of Liga to them.
Yeah?
I could just go as a cat again.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And Casimir tells you about a hobgoblin that he has slain previously. That I don't know is dead yet.
Okay.
That's what he has done. He's then to take on the appearance of somebody that they won't suspect.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but the armored the force here, station force is pretty big, right?
Again, a total of 1,000 soldiers have been stationed, but 700 of them are in the eastern swamp as of now.
So 300 in the city.
So how about Naeris? You and I go together as my cat, and then you guys can go ahead or come afterward a little bit.
Yes.
cat.
Should definitely get a message system.
Yeah.
I am able to cast a message cantrip.
Good.
Well, now that I'm a cat, I won't say anything.
Well, I believe Casimir could talk to you because I believe it's still telepathically.
No, that's not my point. The point is,
you cannot say
I do have
anything.
spells like
Okay.
that could communicate. And you would also know that I actually have a horn that can only be heard by the ones I want to hear it.
I would know that.
Oh, no, actually you wouldn't be able to respond to it because it has to be, and it can whisper back a reply, and you cannot whisper right now.
No.
But can you send it to me?
Yeah, to you easily.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll give you my number.
I'll give you my brain.
Okay.
My mind.
Well.
So you go out first and before we leave, I just...
Yes. I'm just gonna roll to see if happens anything to the cat.
I leave.
And Davree, what were you're just the
Purringly.
I'm probably gonna be my go-to disguise.
Yeah.
Is just a traveling pilgrim.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I mean, so just you.
Yeah, just me.
So I like to imagine we see Davree walk on the street, and then in the background, jumping on rooftops and so forth, we see a cat like.
Nice, I'll just
go with
Okay.
me. Just walk with me. Yeah.
Okay. Nothing happens when you walk through. You can easily make it through to the swamp, and then you find like essentially like a rock formation that allows you to hide out of sight. So you're about up here, and you're told that the barracks are located here.
Okay. We want to try to stick through the barracks. I think. Should we?
I just nod.
Yeah.
And basically, Casimir opens the door and says, "Shall we?"
Head on and then leave.
Cool.
He leads the way.
Yes, if you could roll, let's say stealth check, just to see if you can stay out of focus, and you have advantage due to the fact that you're a soldier.
Natural 20.
Dang.
So that brings it up to 32.
Is that them new dice?
And essentially, you hear just Casimir say, "Wow, you're a natural at this. Impressive."
I
A natural 20 at this.
Yes,
What is that talent? The feat I got from the tattoo?
magic initiate.
Oh yeah, I have to add +1 to everything with my intelligence, I believe.
Yeah, if you are going from an uneven to an even number.
I'm at 14 now.
And so you meet up at the alcove, or rock formation rather. Well, that was delightfully uneventful. Ready to
Just how I prefer it.
ready to the next step. How do you want to approach the swamp?
I think we want to be stealthy, at least, and try avoid any soldiers.
Yeah, I believe that was given. What I meant was just direction-wise. Do we take it from the northern part, the middle part where the barracks are, down south? How?
We entered right here, right?
You are basically located right there,
Yeah,
now.
right now.
Outside of the swamp, you can see the swamp starting.
I believe we should just go further into the swamp.
What's the best path to the Echo tribe without
nobody
going to
knows.
the barracks?
Nobody knows exactly where they're located, other than probably in the heart of the swamp.
Not to assume your gender or anything, but are you good at tracking?
Very different.
That will be survival.
Yeah, I'm very...
Perhaps you can see if you can find any tracks as they move.
Sure.
If they move to the swamp.
Yeah, certainly. Are you still a cat?
No, I'll
Okay, well.
return to my slightly larger form. Right, let's see as well.
And we should drop our hobgoblin appearances.
24.
24. Thanks for listening. The intro music was by Fischer, whereas the outro music was by Martin Kerr. The other pieces which are mentioned in the description down below were by Kevin MacLeod and Enda Genye. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we hope to see you again in Doraken.